Welcome back to the Dopey Show you won't get sick of. I'm Spencer and this is my sidekick Sasha. I spent most of my 20s in federal prison, but I've been off heroin since April 9, 2010. Got a lot of stories about the stupid stuff I did to get put in prison. I've also got a lot of stories about the crazy stuff that happened when I was actually in prison. And God forbid you end up in prison, you won't have to make some of the same mistakes I made. And new microphone, I know it's in the way and all that. I'll get it figured out by tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Pinto's coming tomorrow. I'm, excited to get to see my buddy. 1.2 million in cash, 700,000 in the bank. Crooked banker turned out to be a DEA agent. Worked undercover on him for like a year. He's paying off 4 police officers. Wait till you hear this guy's stories. The cartel was making him do Santeria services where they slaughtered a goat and drew a little cross on his head with some blood. But anyway, we ain't here to talk about that. You'll meet Pinto tomorrow. That's a wild 60 days in. Now this episode is actually good. The last one just been annoying me. And I ain't gonna lie, that one ex-Latin king, Carlos, he gets on my nerves. He's a little bit of a douchebag, but he did some good stuff, a little bit. I mean, it sprinkles of good stuff with a whole bunch of dumbass mixed in with it. But anyhow, something that happened I'm gonna lead off with. There's this dude, Bull Rider. Bull Rider's got kind of a salt and pepper beard. Middle-aged white man, but dude's fit. He just did a handstand in the middle of a pod, started doing, in the middle of the outdoor rec. There are pods attached to this little place where they can see the sky. Oh, that'd be nice. The regional jail I was in, no windows, no sunlight, 13 months. Came out looking like Casper, whiter than I am right now. It's the whitest I've ever been. I usually look like, an amigo. I had a person in prison tripped out whenever I asked him what time it was, and he said, "You messed me up. I thought some Spanish or something was going to come out of your mouth." But anyhow, Bull Rider standing in line for breakfast in the morning. You stand in line to get your tray, and these 2 guys, you see them grinning behind, and they're like, "We're going to cut this line." Well, they cut about 5, 6 people up. They cut in front of Bull Rider. I've talked about this. When you cut in front of somebody that's in front of me, you're cutting in front of me too. If I let somebody get in front of me, I'm letting them get in front of you too. He let him, no. I got up early. We ain't doing that. We're not doing that. It's the way it is. It's the way it's always been. Bull Rider, I believe, is more the real pod boss. Carlos like to think he is. He watched too much TV show, heard that terminology too much. But anyway, Bull Rider's the real one. Dude's got some traps sticking up off of him. You look at the guy, take a close look at the guy standing next to another man. Just standing by himself, it looks like a pretty muscular white guy, reasonably fit. But standing next to the next man, that's a big old dude, okay? Middle-aged, but, apparently he used to be a bull rider. And, he got big old trap. And, he's a cool dude. He's a real convict about his business and everything else. I like him. And there was an issue where somebody came. Now, I've got to tell something before I tell this. They got somebody in the pod who went by Thump. And when they interviewed, he's like, "They call me Thump because I can fight. You think you can fight? Man, I'll smack you up and roll you down on the ground like a little piggy. My Lord on mercy." And I've trained to fight, saying I didn't have to worry about idiots like that. Yeah, my year and a month that I did in jail, people knew that I was a little bit nuts and that if you got me scared I was going to do something. I had this booty bandit try to get me story, and I know I couldn't whoop my fists. I had some creative stuff that I did to him to smash him because I thought he was going to get my old butt. I wasn't going to have that happen. So, that kept people from messing with me as much. But anyway, Thump, there are people like him in every jail. And what happened in this episode was not something you would typically see happen in jail. Bless you! Casey sneezed. But anyway, Thump. Talking about him. He's a young black kid. Looks like he's missing half one of his front teeth. He's like, "Yeah, call me Thump because I like to fight." The Mekhi Phifer looking dude. Call him Mekhi Phifer. He's always got that dread hanging down the middle of his face like Mekhi Phifer in 8 Mile. It's just fun to call him that because I can't imagine having a dread, mildew dread hanging down the middle of my face while I'm talking, having to smell it. Hearing about all them species of bugs they supposedly found in Bob Marley's hair. I'm a hypochondriac and certain stuff like that freaks me out. But anyway, this Thump guy comes in acting too tough. When they were in the lockdown, the quarantine, the ex-Latin King, whose name is Carlos, I'm going to quit calling him the ex-Latin King, Carlos. He's the ex-Latin King guy who thinks he's the pie boss. He went up to him and says, hey, give me one of them. He said, I'm not a little. And that's a word that I'm not going to say. I don't like that word, and I'm white. So guess what? I don't use that word. I'm not confused about the that not being right. There's some people I've seen that seem to be a little confused on that matter, but you know, you're white, you don't get to say the N-word. Shut up. I mean, you sound silly. I mean, you make white people all around you embarrassed if you say that word. I saw an all-white Bloods gang. I thought it was a bunch of racist mothers at first, but then I realized, these people are just retarded. An all-white Bloods gang, I'll be damned. But anyway, yeah, so Thump walks in, he said something to Carlos whenever they're in the segregation. So as soon as he walks in, Carlos, Bull Rider, and the little white guy who got the guy in a chokehold, half a chokehold, didn't quite know what he was doing, that had that broom that he'd made into a dang spear. I mean, this looks like something the Romans would carry. You know, like something on 300. And he jumped on that guy knowing he had that spear on him. Handled himself a little better than I thought he would. He's about big as a twig. Now, there was something funny happened to him. He got carried, literally. I'll get to that in a minute. But anyhow, I keep forgetting this back here. Have to work with this adjusted. But anyway, they have a talk with him. Let him know, you know, this is a pod where we chill, everything else. That stuff ain't going to work in here. And he's like listening to him, and he's receptive to it. But then he acts stupid. The Mekhi Phifer looking guy, he follows him in from getting his commissary. Touching shoulders all the way to his room, like looking at his stuff. Like, what you got for me, man? What you got for me? Man, get away from me. What is wrong with you? Have you lost your damn mind? What did I miss? That's how you deal with somebody like that. You don't. He's like, man, what? But he was going cell to cell doing that to people as soon as they got their commissary. He was big, but he wasn't that big. And he can't thump like he thinks he can, man. I'd like to see that full fight. Oh my God, I hate bullies like that. I despise them. I mean, I ask for like something like that because, you know, that's why I started powerlifting. That's why I started training. Just begging for a situation like that. And I know that ain't quite right, but you know, that year and a month I did in jail, I went from 135 to 190, about half fat, half muscle on what I put on. But my body was so starved it did put on a good bit of muscle. I looked jacked. I just had a muffin top explosion, but where I didn't get as much of a gut, I just looked like a jacked MF. But I wasn't that big. But I did put on a good bit compared to where I was at. But you know, when I first got in there, I kept my mouth shut. Small white guy, you know, I didn't know nothing about judo, jiu-jitsu, boxing. Hadn't trained Kempo karate back then. I kept my mouth shut. I kept quiet, but I minded my business and I would observe. And I was willing to take it to that place. That's what I did to that one dude. I got an equalizer. Not an equalizer, an equalizer. An equalizer, yeah. And that's a funny story. I deleted it a long time back, but there was a situation. I thought this David Hasselhoff looking mother missing a front tooth was going to get my butt. And yeah. I got an equalizer, and I did what I did. I'll tell that one again sometime soon. But anyhow, Thumper guy, they let him know basically you got to get out this cell. So he goes to the cell next to him. They let him know one chance, you're out. Nobody likes this guy. He's an idiot. And now there's a kid who they said was 17. I didn't know a 17-year-old could be in an adult male prison or jail. He might be 18. Somebody else said he was 18 on this episode. But anyway, he's picking with this kid saying, don't you know I slapped the piss out of you? And then he walks up behind him, flicks him in the ear. Man, I used to, when I was, you know, first went in 135 pounds, I might have would have dealt with that. I'd been angry, but I knew I couldn't whoop nobody. I waited till I put on a little muscle, then I stood up for myself. But if somebody flipped my damn ear, I'm choking them unconscious, and then I'm raccooning them. You know what raccooning is? Raccooning is once they're choked unconscious, you punch them once in each eye, and they wake up with two black eyes, looking like a raccoon, stupid, thinking about what they did. What kind of an idiot walks up to somebody, flicks them in their ear? They're a grown damn man. What the hell's wrong with you? His boy is a nice young boy. He doesn't mess with nobody. And I mean, he's pitiful. Said he's never kissed a girl. I mean, people laugh at him for that and everything else. I feel for this kid. He's a nice kid. The guys were going to bail him out of jail with their own money. The Mekhi Phifer looking guy was going to bail him out of jail with his own money. But the kid's parents said, nah, he needs to sit in there. He's been acting up. He needs to learn his lesson. It's what it took from me. So I understand that. But anyway, he doesn't stand up for himself. He's a kid. He's built like a child. I mean, he's built like, he's still got the baby fat and everything. He's a sweet kid. I mean, you know, my sister's friend ended up in jail when I was doing that 7-week sentence, and that one I was kind of pissed off. Didn't think I was getting back out. I did get back out, but anyway, I looked out for him during that time, kind of the same way they're looking out for this kid. Oh, he's a nice kid though, and there was another situation with the kid. Okay, now Thumper threatened him. I'm getting ready. Carlos, the ex-Latin king, went to his room and let him know, you don't mess with the kid. You know, kid, he's with me, you don't mess with the kid. You understand me? And didn't mess with the kid after that. But then the kid had another problem. This guy in this one cell owed him 5 cookies. Played him because he was a little weak young guy and he knew he wasn't going to do nothing. Well, Carlos took up for him. Now, I think Carlos is a big old douchebag who's clout chasing like a mother. I don't even use words like that, like clout chasing and all this new age stuff, but I mean, that's the only thing I can think of to say it. He's being a douchebag. But with this, he was good. He went and stood up for him and said, you need to pay him that stuff. And, you know, everybody's got this kid's back because he's such a good-hearted kid. He lets them know he's never kissed a girl, lets them open up about, you know, his life and all his shit that's all messed up. And you feel bad for the kid because he's a genuine good kid who's probably surrounded by crash dummies that are getting him in trouble. So Carlos gets him paid back. And they're sitting down there talking. Too many people are talking. I couldn't believe it. The little 17, 18-year-old kid that's built like a fat baby. And I say fat baby, he ain't fat, but I mean like he's like a chubby baby. He throws this super slow motion and pops the guy. I mean, it looked like it grazed him a little bit, but he punched the dude. They took him upstairs. The Mekhi Phifer dude was like, now you can't be doing that, but good job. And then the Carlos dude was like, you know, he comes back downstairs and that guy's like, so you want to go in the cell? And Carlos like, nah, you want to go in the cell? Come in the cell with me. That's who you're going in the cell with. I respect him for that. Now, in prison, that never happened. You get involved in somebody's business, you become the business. Your job is to get back home to your family. You speak up for somebody else, you end up catching a life sentence for not minding your own damn business. How stupid are you going to feel then? So anyway, the kid, the chubby baby kid goes in the cell, and he's got a whole bunch of people in front of him, all buffing up, and the guy just went, like, whatever, I don't want none. Good idea. They would have smashed him. I'd have been in on the crew jumping him too. I ain't for jumping people, but mess with that kid. That kid, he traded with him knowing that he wasn't going to pay him back, and he wasn't expecting a repercussion. This guy was probably 30 to 40, trading stuff with this 17, 18-year-old kid. He knew he wasn't going to pay back. He got what he deserved. And there were other people that stood up for him too. This black dude with dreads stood up for the young kid. It was nice. I mean, it's the stuff that should happen in a jail pod. This episode was what you wish would happen, but it's not what happens. That's not reality. That's not what happens. I mean, it don't work like that. There's no Cinderella fairy tale ending unless you stand up for yourself and smack the shit out of somebody when they come at you with that bullshit. I mean, you got to reach that point. So anyhow, Thumper keeps acting up. He's sitting on people's bed. You don't sit on people's bed. Put your butthole on somebody's pillow. I mean, you know, might be farting, anything else. Give you pink eye. Okay? Sitting on somebody's bed. I mean, you might as well, you know, stand over top of them on the table and drag your crotch right across their face. That's what that is equivalent to in jail. You don't sit on somebody's bed. I didn't know that at first. People had to school me on that. That got myself in trouble. But, you know, with some understanding and some good people, I got let know that real quick, and I remembered it real quick too. But he just disrespectful as can be, and they're basically telling him, you know, they got this guy scared. They got this guy scared. Just dump it, because I know how to fight. Yeah, you know how to fight. You're touched. You got extra chromosome. Anyway, they check him in. He basically like, I need to talk to somebody now. I'm in fear for my life. Checks himself in, okay, which is the ultimate bitch move. But anyway, So moving on. Oh, before that happened though, the white kid who got the guy in the sort of chokehold who had the spear, he went up to the GD guy. Well, he's a GD, gangster disciple, first off. Which, by the way, I have plenty of stories about the GDs. I got sent to a Christian rehab when I was about 15, 16 years old, run by GDs, run by folk nation GDs. Asked me what set I was claiming when I come in. I had about hair shaggier than I had now. I had a Leonard Skinner t-shirt on. Asked me what set I was claiming. I was like, dude, what? Like, what set you playing? What gang you represent? I said, rock and roll. And they just like shook their head. They're like, this guy's crazy. But yeah, there are white GD members I've seen that, and it's like Dave Chappelle said, if you see a bunch of black people walking with the one white guy, you better watch out for that white guy, because you ain't know what he's done to get those black people's respect. These GD guys were crazy that I met in that little Christian rehab. Oh my, I mean, it was insane. It was insane. I'd never seen nothing like it. And a Christian rehab. But anyhow, I guess since he disarmed that guy or whatever, he's 18 years old, and it looks like he's the shot caller for the GDs in there. Now, you know, I got a lot of respect for GDs. I did a lot of business networking with them, but for this kid to be 18 years old and shot caller and a little scrawny white guy, it was a sight to see. I mean, it truly was. He has the Z's tattooed below his eye, like that Lil Xan. I wouldn't even know who that is. My fiance made me listen to a song or two of that fool. As corny, them little Z's under the eye, Lil Xan with that mumble rap dumbass shit. I mean, I grew up with Wu-Tang, Old Dirty Bastard, Dirt McGirt, a.k.a. I'm not going to say all his nicknames. You know, some people might not understand it. But anyway, yeah, with the good stuff. And nowadays, I mean, it's trash. But anyhow, this guy he went down to Thump's cell after some stuff happened, like trying to talk to him. Go on, blah, 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 get on my face, boy. After Bull Rider, I'll tell you what it was. Bull Rider from the trays, I talked about the trays, two people trying to come in line. One of those two people tried to come in his cell. Now, these cells don't have doors, so they walked in the doorway. He said, I told you not to come in my cut. You tried to come in this morning? Get out of my cut. What's wrong with you? And it about started a fight. Guy didn't want none. Bull Rider's a big old white guy. He got them big old cornbread white dudes that, you know, if he rode a bull, shit, he's crazy as can be. I'm not getting on any damn bull. Saw it happen to Christopher Reeves. Yeah, I said that. No, I'm not getting on a bull. But anyway, Thump walks halfway up the stairs like he's going to do something. And he starts calling him out. Bull Rider does. He says, What are you going to do, bitch? He calls him a bitch. You don't call someone a bitch in prison. Don't call him a bitch. Unless you're ready to fight. He's ready to fight. He says, come on, Thump, Thump, Thump. Called him every which kind of way. Man, he clowned that kid. He didn't come up there. And he checked in shortly after that. Oh, but what happened after that was the white boy GD leader went down there and talked to him. And he's like, oh, whoop, blah, blah, blah. Well, he wasn't going to fight Bull Rider because Bull Rider's a cock-diesel white guy. Smash him into pieces. Well, he's a pretty good sized dude, this Thump guy. He got some fat on him. And he figures he's got better chances with the little skinny white guy. They're supposedly part of the same gang. It's supposed to be your brother in your gang, and you're going to try to start a fight with him because you couldn't beat the hillbilly white guy that likes to ride the bulls at the rodeo. That's some weak stuff right there. I mean, come on. So he's like, I'll do whatever. Well, the little white guy went upstairs, got his shoes on, came back down ready to fight. They blocked him. He's got too many friends in there that don't like him, especially since he took that one guy out with that whole spear. Looks like he's one of the 300, you know, ready to go into Sparta. I mean, he wasn't built like a Spartan. He's built maybe like a 10-year-old Spartan before they hit puberty. I don't even know if he got any hair on his sack. But anyway, he took out that guy with the spear. But anyhow, so he's ready to go downstairs. People keep blocking him. I don't even know which white guy it was, but this big old white dude grabbed him under his armpits and carried him up the stairs. And literally walked him up the stairs with his little feet going like that off the ground. That was funny. Oh, I gotta press this. We're all good though. He carried him. Literally, he carried him. He carried him up the stairs. That was funny. I can't even lie on that. Let me see what I'm missing here. I made a few notes. Yeah, he got carried up the stairs. Yeah, he wanted to fight the little white guy, but he didn't want to fight Bull Rider. That means you got bitch in your blood. That's just straight bitch right there. You got called out by the big guy, the big hillbilly, and then you want to fight somebody who's part of your own gang, and the little white guy's talking all kinds of crazy stuff. You want 6? You want part of my nation? I put that on everything. And that's saying you aren't really, like, you're a fake gang member and everything else. You know, I know enough about it, been around enough about it, so, you know what I mean? I know what it's saying. It's like basically the most disrespectful thing you could say is telling somebody who's supposed to be a banger, you ain't part of this. You ain't part of this, you're a punk, you're a poser, you're faking. So anyway, let's see. I think that just about covers it. The women's pod has some wild stuff too. I think they all got the lice. Yeah, and there was one girl, you know, flicking her bean in the bed and making all kinds of noises. The black girl went down there and told her, "What is wrong with you? You nasty." And you know, she should have done that. That's stupid. You're in cells that don't have doors on them. You have this girl holler and echoing through the whole unit when it's bedtime. Yeah, she should have checked her on that. It's this white girl with tattoos. That's an idiot. Stupidest. I mean, stupid. Who, when she got interviewed, she says, "People think I'm crazy and I'm just some dumb girl. Blah, blah, blah." They got it confused. I'm smart as shit. I'm smart as a mother. And I'm like, you sound ignorant as can be. Blonde-headed, pale white girl with tattoos on her neck, everywhere else. You know, just basically like, you know, what you hope your daughter will not grow up to be. Like, when you watch that, you think, my God, please, for my sins I have committed when I was younger, do not let my daughter, my niece, any female relative of mine that is yet to be born end up like this poor white trash girl. Amen. And, yeah, I mean, Lord have mercy. Can't imagine dealing with some of the stuff they deal with in the women's pod. Lord have mercy. So anyway, that's about it for this one. It's a little bit of rant, a little bit of raving. I'll be getting back with the workout videos. I apologize for not one tonight. I'm going to try to squeeze one in tomorrow. But Pinto's coming in, so it's going to be a wild day. Been scrambling, getting everything ready. You know, see, got the new mic. Got to adjust it before tomorrow. But, you know, I got some great stuff planned. And after Pinto, my buddy Kevin Crockett, who's like a brother to me. I love that dude. He really is like, that's one of the best people you'll ever meet. Best friends you could ever have in your life. Sounds like he's married. He's a tattoo artist now. Most incredible leather worker, but he ain't been doing leather work since he's been out of prison. Me and my mom talked about buying him the tools so he can start doing leather work. Hold on. I know I'm going to disappear for about 10 seconds, which is uncharacteristic of me and unprofessional that I did not have this ready, but I want to show you guys a piece of leather work that I bought off of him for $300, okay? It's alligator print. That's on actual, you know, cow leather, but it's alligator print. He hand stitched this thing together. Now it's got a good bit of use. It's been used since 2017 to carry my jiu-jitsu stuff to and from. Yeah, I come in super fly. I mean, I dress a little bit gutter. I mean, I wear my jewelry and stuff. You see, I got my stuff right there and everything else. And that's my grandma's ring. She gave me that. I always said I want it. She used to tell me, well, you can have it when I die. I'm like, well, I don't want it then. That's depressing. So I know she loves me most, and she gave it to me. I got a bunch of douchebag cousins for the most part. Some of them are okay. But I just had to sneak that in there in case any of them saw it. I really do. I have some really trash human beings that are family that I can't believe I share blood with, just on a serious note. But anyhow, I'm going to go grab that real quick. Hold tight. Hold tight. Mm-hmm. This was made in a federal prison. Kevin Crockett made this. It's got 5 years of use on it. Still looks good. It's got 2 inside pockets. With zippers. And he stitched that all together by hand. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get him back in the leather work, sell some stuff on here if you guys are interested. He used to do custom wallets, have your name, have whatever. He can put your face on a piece of leather with a razor. They had that in the prison. You had to check it in, check it out. But anyhow, that's the end of this one. If you liked it, press the like button. If you watched it this far and you think I've earned it, press the like button. But if not, that's 25 minutes and 25 seconds of your life, which you'll never get back. It's been, despite running on fumes, I'm just so excited to see my best friend, Pinto. Kevin Croc's my best friend too. I've got a few of them that I consider family. Everybody else, a lot of humans are trash, but the few humans that I have that I consider friends, you guys are gonna love, because like they're genuine people that have your back for real. I mean, I don't say a lot of people are my friend. I don't have a lot of friends. A lot of people think I'm their friend, whatever reason. But probably because I'm being good to them. But like, I recognize who my friends are. I have a handful. Justin Berger, Kevin Crockett, Pinto. You know, those are some of my friends. They're family pretty much. You know, and check that out. As a white person, a Puerto Rican, and a black dude, you know, these guys are all my brothers. They're more my family than my own blood family is. You know, not my mom and sister. My mom and sister's closer than anybody, and so is Casey. But you know, closer than some of these douchebag cousins I've got. I'll tell you some stories about that shit later. But anyway, I hope you liked the video. I will be adding a lot more on here. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna cut up. You know, I'll probably do lives on here too, because I think a lot of you guys who are like the really people who've been with me, who stick with me, are going to watch this channel, and not everybody else is. So I'll probably do the lives on here because it'll be less people. I don't do it for that. You know, with Pinto, all the junkie with the monkey money, plus a good bit of my money. I mean, just straight up, it's costing me a good bit. I've saved for it, but in order to get him down here, I'm giving him $400. Yeah, he's about a 3.5, 4 hour drive. But yeah, giving him $400. He's got 2 kids. He's had 2 kids with Ashley since he's been out. And, you know, in order for him to take his time, he's taking a day off of work, bringing the kids with him and everything else. I'm giving him $400 and making sure his hotel's covered too. He's my brother. I mean, seriously, I love that fat motherfucker. I mean, you're going to see me fight with him too. I'm going to get Casey to record it. As soon as I see him, I think I want to arm drag him and jump on his back and get him in a rear naked choke. I think as soon as I see him, I'm going to do it. It show if he's watching this or not. If he ain't watching it, he ain't going to be ready. I'm going to get his ass. Y'all be watching.